Welcome to Domain 3, Claude Code Configuration and Workflows. This domain covers 20% of the Claude Certified Architect exam, roughly 8 of 40 questions. You'll learn how Claude Code reads its instructions, how teams share configuration while keeping personal preferences personal, and how to plug Claude Code into automated pipelines. Claude shows up in 3 different ways, and they're easy to mix up. Claude.ai is the chat website. Anyone can use it for quick questions. The Claude API is for developers building apps that include Claude inside them. Claude Code is the third way, a tool that runs in a developer's terminal. It can see your files, edit your code, run your tests, and search your codebase. Think of Claude Code as the AI consultant sitting right next to you at your desk. Domain 3 is all about how to configure Claude Code so it follows your team's rules automatically, without you repeating yourself every session. CLAUDE.md is the most important concept in Domain 3. It's a plain text file that tells Claude Code things to remember about your project without you repeating them every session. Claude Code doesn't check just one CLAUDE.md, it checks 3, layering them together, user level in your home folder, project level inside the repo, and directory level inside a subfolder. This is Domain 3's central tension. Personal preferences belong in the user level file. Team rules belong in the project level file. Mixing them up is the single most common Domain 3 mistake, and the exam tests it constantly. Task Statement 321 asks, do you know which claude.md goes where? User level is personal. Project level is team shared via Git. Directory level loads only when you're in that subfolder. The classic bug, a developer writes a rule in their personal user level file and assumes teammates get it too. They don't. The fix is to move the rule to project level and commit it. How do you keep claude.md from growing into an unreadable mess? 2 clean solutions: the dimport syntax, where your main file stays short and imports topic-specific files, or the .claude rules folder, where Claude auto-loads every file inside, no import lines needed. And when something isn't working, type memory inside Claude Code. It shows exactly which claude.md files are loaded this session. Task Statement 322 covers /commands and skills. A /command is a speed dial shortcut. Type review instead of typing the full review checklist every time. Where you put the file determines who gets it. Team shared commands go in. .claude commands inside the project. Version controlled, available to everyone who clones. Personal commands go in. .claude.commands, Claude, only you. Skills are like /commands but more powerful. A folder containing a skill.md file with a YAML configuration block. Context fork runs the skill in an isolated subagent so verbose output stays out of your main session. Allowed tools restricts which tools the skill can use. Argument hint prompts for input when none is given. Use claude.md for always on rules. Use skills for on-demand specialized workflows. Task Statement 3.3 is about path-specific rules. Imagine a codebase with React components, API handlers, and database migrations, each with its own conventions. The solution: put rule files in, Claude rules A, with a YAML front matter block that lists which file patterns the rule applies to. When Claude edits a matching file, the rule loads. When it's editing something else, the rule stays silent. The glob pattern paths field does the matching. */* matches files at any folder depth. This is why path-scoped rules beat subdirectory CLAU.md files for things spread by type, like test files. A subdirectory CLAU.md can't scope by file type. One .claude rules-v file with the right glob pattern handles every test file in the codebase, wherever it lives. Task Statement 3.4 is about knowing when to plan before acting versus just acting. Direct execution is the default. You ask, Claude reads, edits, runs, done. Use it for small, clear tasks with one obvious right answer. Plan mode is for big tasks where measuring twice beats cutting once. Architectural changes, multi-file migrations, situations where you don't yet know the full scope. When you trigger plan mode, Claude first explores the codebase without making any changes, then writes a step-by-step plan. You review it and can push back or redirect. Only after you approve does Claude make the actual changes. For big discovery tasks, reading 30 files, tracing imports, delegate to the Explore subagent. It explores in isolation and returns only a clean summary. Task Statement 3.5 is about getting consistently great results through iteration. The core insight, concrete examples beat vague prose descriptions every time. Format the dates more nicely, forces Claude to guess what nicely means. 3 input and output examples collapse the ambiguity completely. This is the 2 to 3 examples rule, the most effective fix for Claude keeps doing it slightly wrong. For implementation work, use test-driven iteration. Write the tests first, ask Claude to make them pass, share the failures, repeat. For unfamiliar problems, use the interview pattern. Ask Claude to interview you before writing any code, surfacing design decisions you didn't know you needed to make. And for multiple issues, if they interact, batch them into one message. If they're independent, fix one at a time and verify before moving on. Task Statement 3.6 is about running Claude Code in CI/CD pipelines. CI/CD is the automated assembly line for code. Every change triggers checks before it can merge. But here's the critical gotcha. When Claude Code runs normally, it waits for human input. And in CI/CD, there's no human, so the pipeline hangs forever. The fix is the P flag. It puts Claude in non-interactive mode. Process, print, exit. Use output format JSON for machine-readable output that downstream tools can parse. For code review, don't ask the generator to review its own code. The chef who cooked the meal will tell you it's delicious. Use a fresh, independent session instead. And match your API to your latency needs, synchronous for blocking flows where someone is waiting. Message Batches API, 50% cheaper for non-blocking overnight work. Let's lock in the exam day trigger phrases for Domain 3. Shared with team, available when cloning, project level, in the edtob folder committed to Git. My rule isn't reaching teammates. It was put in user level by mistake, move it, and commit. Files spread throughout the codebase by type. Dtog Claude rules esh with glob patterns every time. Large, architectural, multi-file change, plan node, explore first, then approve, then execute. Pipeline hangs or job times out, add the P flag, not batch, not Claude, headless. Blocking versus non-blocking workflow, synchronous for blocking, batches for non-blocking. And the bonus, Claude keeps doing it slightly wrong after multiple prose iterations. Switch to 2 or 3 concrete input and output examples. Let's recap the key terms for Domain 3. Claude Code, the tool at your terminal, reading files, editing code, running commands. CLAUDE not, the sticky note Claude reads on every session start. 3 scopes, user level personal, project level team, shared via Git, directory level team. The number 1 bug, a rule in user level instead of project level, move it and commit. Timport and .claude rules, 2 ways to keep claude.md from growing unmanageable. /commands versus skills. Commands are quick.md shortcuts, skills add isolation and tool restriction. Path-specific rules, .chi.rules, chi with Claude patterns. Plan mode, for big architectural work, explore, plan, approve, execute. The EP flag required in every CI/CD script, or the pipeline hangs. That's Domain 3, 20% of your exam, and now you know it. You've covered the full foundation of Domain 3. You understand how Claude Code reads its instructions, how to scope rules correctly, how to build /commands and skills, how to apply path-specific rules, when to use plan mode versus jumping straight in, how to iterate effectively, and how to plug Claude Code into CI/CD pipelines. Good luck on your exam. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss the next one.